What's up? What's up? What's up? All right. All right. What's up, everybody? I know we're not on camera yet. Let the music play for a minute here. Get my coaster fixed. We're going to piss some people off tonight. All right. Let's see. It's really, really loud in my headphones. All right, 11 p.m. Let's go. All right, there's the disclaimer. Why do we have a disclaimer? Because nothing I do is financial advice. None of it. I'm just a dude on the internet documenting what I'm doing as I go along. All right? Fair enough? Fair enough, if you ask me. What's up, everybody? I'm Keith. Thank you for joining. Bear with me as I adjust my camera and stuff here. It's a brand new setup. Hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell if you would, please. Glad to see everybody. How many we got on here so far? About 20 something. Let me bump this camera up just a bit. I just got all this stuff set up, so some of it's a little out of whack here. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right. So, hold on. There we go. Dogs ventured. Knocked the trash can over. Damn dog. All right, so this is a brand new setup for me. I got a new desk, new monitors. I got 4 monitors now instead of 2 like I had before. Things are in a different setup. The lighting is not as good. I'm at the new house now. This is the new place. The lighting is not as good in here, so I got to get a different light that mounts back here rather than the other one that I had before, because the other one was behind the desk and it just shined forward. Well, I don't have that here. I got to figure out. I got to figure out some other way to get like a clamp light or something that clamps onto the back. But I don't want to break the desk because this is glass. It's like an all glass desk. It's nice. I don't want to tear it up. So anyway, all the typical people seem to be in here. What's up, everybody? Mullet, Lou, Frank, Andrew, Ryan, Pops, Ken, Ray. What's up, Rob? Eric Phillips, what's up? Thank you, Mullet. What's up? Isham, Nomad, Tristan, what's up? China Matt, what's up? Vertical Pedal, what's up? What's up, Nick? All right, so let's dive off into this. This is going to be something different than what we normally do. So the last several days have been extremely stressful for me. It's nothing to do with the charts. It's nothing to do with that at all. It's been a lot of people. It's just people have been stressing me out really hard lately. It's whether I do charts one way or the other way, no one's going to be happy. No one's ever going to be fully happy. It doesn't matter. No matter what I do, you're never going to have people who are always so happy. So, but I think I deleted like 1,200 messages without even reading them because it was an onslaught in my inbox. So it's pretty wild. As you see, my Telegram is no longer on there. It's a Patreon link on there, and it talks about you guys, the assassins, and then it says Crypto After Dark. But it doesn't have, it no longer has my Telegram up there. So this is people watching past episodes and stuff, I guess. I don't know. But the question I would get asked a bunch, like if I just look at the messages and don't read them, but they're right there in front of me, is your charting style missed this, that, and the other. You didn't see it. Why didn't you see this? Why didn't you see that? Well, we're going to go over that tonight, okay? It's an interesting thing to chart one way and, you know, try to teach people a certain way to chart. And it's not because I'm trying to teach you the way I want to teach you. It's that I'm trying to teach you a more basic way to do it that anyone can learn. Because what I found out when I first started was if you overwhelm someone with a bunch of stuff and you just throw a lot of stuff at them, that, you know what, they tend not to want to listen to everything you say. You tend to lose them because people don't want to hear about 3,000 things coming at them at once. Well, tonight you're going to get 3,000 things coming at you at once. I really don't care. So it's time to give everybody a little something different. Okay, so I got 88 up on the screen just because that's the first thing I had up on the screen. But I want to start with some simple stuff that I don't talk about all the time because it confuses people. But there are candlestick patterns that I think are important for everyone to pick up on. Okay, and we're going to start on these candlestick patterns by looking at ontology. And I want to show you a couple simple ones real quick that I think everyone should learn. And I'm not necessarily saying look for them, but it's going to be something that that's just starting to catch your eye once you do it enough. Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is an engulfing candle. What is an engulfing candle? Well, either up or down, it doesn't matter, but when one candle prints a very large pattern, another candle comes up directly behind it and goes in the other direction. That's called engulfing, okay? All right, so it doesn't matter whether it's up or down, it's the same style. So what we see here on ontology, I'm going to erase this box here that I've got drawn of support because it seems to have hit support, but not the point. What you see here is a bullish engulfing candle. This first candle right here is red and nasty. It hits support, and the very next candle behind that is nearly the same size or a little higher, and it has engulfed the full size of this candle and potentially started a reversal. Now, does this mean that we will reverse? No. It does not mean that we will reverse. It's kind of like a warning shot. Okay, remember the Cuban Missile Crisis? In the Cuban Missile Crisis, Russia was steaming a ship toward Puerto Rico and toward Cuba, and we're blockading Cuba. Well, they were getting closer and closer and closer, so we had a battleship out there that intentionally missed, but they shot a cannon with a slug over it right directly over the Russian boat on purpose. And they didn't want to hit them. What they were trying to do was show them, hey, warning, I'm telling you right now, you should stop and turn around. It's a warning shot, okay? So I want you to think of a engulfing candle as a warning shot. They're not always perfect, okay? You shouldn't just see it and go, oh, that's what's going to happen. Because if you look at this chart, right directly above it is another similar type of engulfing candle, but it was immediately pulled back down with another red one, okay? You can't always look for that and say you found it. What I've found most of the time is coming off of a support line like this, when you have an engulfing candle off of a support line, it's like a double warning shot to potentially someone shorting to say, hey, look, maybe you should think about what you're doing here. Maybe this isn't the best time to be shorting so hard. Maybe it's just time to flip the other way around here, okay? Hold on a second. I'm reading comments. Oh, hey, yes, I'm sorry, William. I'm not going to be super reading the comments because I'm going to go deep diving on the TA here. But the mods over here will be happy to help you out with the link. But if you look right there, patreon.com/Carolina Keith, you go on there, you sign up. It's $8. I donate all the money away. I don't keep any of your money. I take any money that we make from YouTube, any money that we make from Patreon, and we just give it out, okay? So, back to engulfing candles. When I see them bounce off of support, like you see right here, that's when I see another chance of reversal, all right? So, The same thing works in the other direction. When you see an engulfing candle in red, right here was the exact same thing. You had this run up, a nice big green candle. This tall wick was your first sign, okay? We're going to talk about that in a second, but right directly after this big green, what did we get? A red engulfing candle right behind it, okay? Directly behind it. A warning shot to the bulls. Hey, maybe you should stop and think about this. Maybe it's time to think about pulling some profits here. It's got this big gnarly red candle at the top. Hey, maybe I should pump the brakes and stop and think about this for a second, okay? Again, it's not foolproof, but this is a warning shot to let you know. I better start thinking about this. I don't usually talk about these on the stream because I see them automatically without even thinking about it, and it just kind of pops in my head instantly and I'm doing it, but people comment and ask me like I don't do it. It's just something that I've learned to see without even thinking about it. So two different ones. Bullish engulfing was when a nice big green candle comes up after the red. Bearish engulfing is when a nice fat red candle comes up right after the green, okay? It's pretty simple. Look for them. There are 12 different candlestick patterns that are Japanese candlestick patterns that are, I would say, like the typical ones. The problem is not all of them work in crypto the way they should, okay? So I wish it was different than that, but it's not, okay? It's just some of them don't work as good. Crypto's a little bit more fickle. The next one are these extremely long wicks on the candles, okay? These extremely long wicks on the candles are a signifier to us. What do they signify? Well, I'm going to go back to that ADA up chart that was on to begin with, okay? Right here you go. You see these very long wicks. I've got them highlighted here in this box. These very, very long wicks on the bottom. When you see these very long wicks on the bottom of a red candle like this, it typically means that these bears came in and sold off a lot, but as they were selling off, buyers were coming in right behind them and buying up what they were selling. So just as fast as it was selling, it was being bought right back. Now, obviously, there was more sell than buy here. Okay, obviously the candle's red, but the point is these long wicks signify buying pressure. It's buying pressure. There's a lot of buying pressure at the bottom here, okay? And what did I label that as? Buying pressure, okay? I just showed you that ontology chart, right? What did we see on that on that ontology chart? On that one candle that I showed you that got a bearish engulfing right here? A long wick on the top. That long wick on the top. So someone bought, but a lot of people were selling off at the same time. And then the very next day, you got this red candle warning you. So you had two warnings. You had your long wick on the top, and you had a bearish engulfing candle on the back end. Not that complicated, okay? Again, I don't talk about these a lot, but they're valid. Let me get a drink real quick. It's been a really stressful 5 days. Oh, that's good. Okay, been drinking a lot of bean, bro. Me too. Actually, you know what? I haven't been on the liquor. It's just been beer because it's been stupid hot here. I've been moving and doing 100 things, trying to answer messages. I gave up on that because it's impossible. So just a cold beer on a hot summer day in the South is wonderful. Again, I apologize for the lighting. I'll work on it later. 100 things going on. Last thing I'm worried about is the lighting. Hold on a second here. I got some questions. Bear wick on top, bowl on the bottom. Correct, Smooth. You got it. Not necessarily 100%. It's just a sign. All right, so the next little pattern I want to talk about are morning stars and evening stars. Well, this is something that me and Mullet talked about a year ago probably, but it was getting people to notice more of these morning stars and these daily stars. I mean, evening stars, morning stars and evening stars. Okay, so a morning star pattern is when a chart goes down. Thank you, Mullet. when the chart goes down, a doji comes forming at the bottom, and off of that doji forming at the bottom, typically on support, the chart throws a doji and reverses in the other direction, okay? And right here is a perfect example of that. I'm going to put my indicators back up here, which is the moving averages. This is the 100-day moving average in blue. You see this chart had a retracement. After the retracement, there was a doji candle. And if you're wondering what a doji candle is, right there is a doji candle. Long wick on top, long wick on the bottom, and a very, very small body. Red or green, either way. You know, you could argue that the greens are better, but then you'll find plenty of people that tell you it doesn't matter. As long as there's a doji at the bottom, you're going to get that pattern. But we had this far fall, down, down, down. A doji formed at the bottom on support, and what happened? It immediately reversed right after that. This is a bullish pattern, a morning star. And the same goes for an evening star, okay? Let me see if I can find one right quick, because I was actually looking for this today to prep for the stream, but I got really busy with what I was doing. Right here's one. So we had this run up, 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 bam, a long top wick, a long bottom wick, and a very small body. Here you have an evening star. You're hitting resistance. You failed to break it. You threw a doji, and it immediately turned around and dropped down, okay? Not that complicated, okay? Not that complicated. And Mullet said right there, the stochastic RSI should be oversold or overbought in those exact same scenarios. And I'll actually pull that up for you here so you can see what he's talking about. Under indicators here, I'll pull up the stochastic RSI. And if you look, I remove these. Oh, no, let me go back. I don't want to remove that one. I'm going to remove the MACD. I'm going to hide the RSI. All right, so right here on the morning star, on the evening star pattern we had right here, where it got ugly and threw that nasty candle. Right here on the stochastic RSI, you see where we're starting to form this down. The pattern's going down here. Okay, and we had this evening star at the top, the stochastic RSI working its way down. This is the next thing we're going to talk about, and I'm not going to start just yet, but I want to show you that's an important thing. We had another morning star right here. Look at that. And as soon as that happened, that stochastic RSI kind of caught its bottom right there and moved up. Okay, important stuff. It seems to work pretty well, doesn't it? Of course it does. Now, as I say always, I don't use just one thing. These are all combinations of what I use. I take them all the little pieces and I put them together and I come up with a better plan for myself, okay? That's what I do on every single chart, okay? Every single one. I never just look at one thing and go, okay, yeah, that's it. I'm going to buy that. Or, oh, that's it. I'm out. I'm selling. I never do that. I go through multiple phases before I actually commit, okay? Before I actually do anything, before I actually say anything to anybody. And I put not financial advice behind everything I post now, because if I don't put not financial advice, then someone's going to say something about me saying the wrong thing, even though I gave you 55 corrects. Before that, I gave you one incorrect. We're going to remember the one incorrect. Not the point. Point is, look for more than one thing. Pay attention. You're going to be all right. So now let me get into the next thing. Now there's more chart patterns than that. I just wanted to give you a couple. I wanted to give you bearish engulfing, bullish engulfing, morning star, and evening star. Okay? Not that complicated. It's really not. There's more patterns we can get into. There's a hanging man, a dying baby, some other ones. You can find those 12 chart patterns pretty easily if you just look on Google. Okay? So I actually made a separate list for today, just so I could get into the next thing. All right, so now we're going to talk about bearish divergence, bullish divergence, bearish convergence, and bullish convergence. Okay, we're going to talk about the differences, what they mean, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we're going to apply it to what recently happened to the charts so you can kind of understand where I'm coming from with this stuff, okay? It's not as complicated as you think. For the longest period of time here, we've heard nothing but stupid dog coin bullshit, Elon Musk bullshit. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear another thing about what Elon Musk caused to happen, because he didn't. It was not Elon Musk that did this. It was not Elon Musk that did that. It was simple chart fundamentals. If you would get your nose out of the news and get your nose in the charts, you'd know that. You're too busy worried about all the noise to hear the song. Pay attention to the song. Fuck the crowd. Any musician that's on the stage will tell you that. Okay? Don't worry about that. Play the song. The crowd will react afterwards. Don't worry about how the crowd reacts before the song ever starts. Okay? So, let's get into some of this. Start with Bitcoin here. And I want to show you something, okay? So, I've got a trend line pulled here on the latest Bitcoin daily stuff. As you see, this trend line was kind of moving up in a general up direction. And obviously we know that from all the way back till like November, it's been going up and up and up and up. Point is, I want to show you this particular part. There's very clearly an uptrend right here. Now, that looks bullish, right? Okay, let's look at our RSI at the same time. So if we look at our RSI, you see that overall we're making lower highs. We had a high, a low, a lower high, and a higher low. Well, that kind of looked bullish, didn't it? Maybe. And then right back behind it, another lower high. So you're starting to see a trend line develop. You start to see a trend. This relative strength index, the strength of what you're looking at, the relative strength of what you're looking at, is dropping. Interestingly enough, the price was still going up. Well, that's odd, isn't it? Okay, you just learned about bearish divergence. You just learned about bearish divergence. Okay, the price was going up, but the strength of the actual asset you were looking at was going down. Okay, bearish divergence. And what does bearish divergence mean? It means a potential reversal down. Here's another example, all the way back in August of 20. You had the price going up, been going up for days and days and days. And look at here, at the exact same time the price is going up, you had the relative strength index dropping once again. Once again. Okay? Pay attention. The chart was trying to warn you. Hey, look, the price is going up, but the strength is going down. You have bearish divergence. Okay? This is another shot. Another warning shot going over the bow of the ship. Okay? I've told you about bullish engulfing and bearish engulfing. I've told you about morning stars and evening stars that give you these signals to let you know, hey, you know what? Things looking a little iffy. Maybe I should think about this again. Here's another one. Bearish divergence. The price is going up, but the strength is dropping. Okay? Now, I like to say sometimes, oh, look, the indicators are building steam up. Well, what does that really tell you? Well, once that indicator drops below a certain level, I'm trying to get out of it anyway. So it's not always the case that it's building up steam. Tiago Sanchez says, HODL gang. Yeah, I hold nothing, bro. Sorry. Holding, I've done in a previous video, makes you far less percentage than trading will. The only thing I hold are a drink in my hand. Okay? No assets have my emotions. I'm not emotionally attached to any one particular thing. As Mullet said earlier that I didn't read, but I probably should have, I'm here to make money. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to make enemies. I'm here to make money. I'm here to make money. Okay? We're here to get paid. We're not here to see who can hold the most coins. We're not here to see who has the biggest bag. None of that shit matters. We're here to get paid. So get paid. Okay? Get paid. When you see bearish divergence like this is yet another chance for you to take profits. I'm not saying take all your money out. Okay? I'm not saying take most of your money out. But what I am going to tell you is you never lose money if you take profits. Okay? You never lose taking profits. You never get wrecked taking profits. Plus, when we have situations like this where the market has a capitulatory drop, you have liquid now. You've taken some profits and now you have some liquidity to move around and maybe potentially buy something that went way down and had an unsustainable drop like I talked about before on the other stream. When you have these massive unsustainable drops, you know they're going to come back up. You can't just drop something 80% in one day and expect it not to rebound some. Well, if you took some profits, you have some liquid and you have some money to move around, okay? Crypto boss Andrew asked me, do I ever worry about taxes? No, I do not. If you're telling me that I won $160 million in the lottery and I have to pay some taxes on that, well, boo fucking who, okay? Boo fucking who. I'm still going to get paid. I still have more than I started with. The question I get asked a lot is, well, when you trade, don't you have isn't that a taxable event? Technically, it is a taxable event. However, when the IRS comes out and says, well, we're not taxing that, we're only taxing it if it hits your bank account, then what are you worried about? What are you worried about? The last thing I'm worried about is taxes. I want to get my gains first. I'm not worried about landing on the moon before I get off of Earth, okay? I need to get off of Earth first. First problem. You can't jump to step 263. You got to start on step 1 and work your way up. Okay? Forget the noise. Listen to the music. Okay? All right, so this is bearish divergence. Not as complicated as one may think. All right, let me read this for a second. I got a bunch of comments. I'm trying to read comments and be technical. We're going to keep digging deeper here. All right, yeah, so what Rob says here, he says, RWM, he says, bearish divergence reminds me of a manual transmission car going up a hill. Car's moving too fast for the engine, okay? You need to downshift. Well, downshifting isn't bad, but clearly there's some down in there, okay? I get what he's saying. That's a good comparison. Let's see. Up and down, and up, we win in the end. Absolutely. Yeah, not taxation advice. May differ in your region is absolutely correct. This is a worldwide stream. Where you're at may be different than where we're at, okay? I'm just going off of what my personal accountant told me. You may be different. If you have a different accountant, do your thing. Again, I'm not worried about crossing home plate. I'd like to hit the ball first. Okay, one step at a time. One step at a time. All right, so let's go on to the next thing. That was bearish divergence. Obviously, it means potential reversal. Got it? Got it. Let's go on to bullish divergence. Okay? All right. So, here we have Zilliqa. As you see here, the price of Zilliqa from June 20th, let me move this fib out of here because it's right in the way. The price of Zilliqa from June 13th, 2020, all the way till November 29th, 2020, kind of went down or sideways. If you look there, the trend line kind of shows it for you, but obviously down and sideways. You know, it kind of moves sideways, but you're making lower highs. Here's a high, a low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, and finally you got a higher low right here, which was a sign of reversal, right? A sign. Either way, we had this trend line here, came all the way over here to the trend line before it finally broke north. So we had downward or sideways price action. Okay, on our RSI. At that same time, what did we have? Oh, look. The RSI was gaining strength. In that same time frame that the chart was going down, Zilliqa was moving up. Interesting. And we can look on the weekly and you can see it again. That line looks different because I did the daily, so obviously the week's going to be different, but I'll redo it here for you. Obviously, from here to here, you got the RSI moving on up. You got the price moving down. So you had a divergence. You had a bullish divergence. The chart relative strength was gaining strength, gaining momentum. The price was moving sideways or down. And at the same time, your indicators were starting to move up. Hey, that's bullish divergence. That's a good sign. So you could look for a potential reversal up. And look what happened. Bullish divergence happened. That's what. It reversed up and went straight north. Okay? And here we had another situation where even in this same time frame, we had this bullish divergence. Right here, again, the price went up. And look at that relative strength index going down. Just as fast as you got that bullish divergence, you had bearish divergence form up here. Price went up, RSI went down. Okay? Warning shot, did you pay attention to it or did you just buy a bunch more? Because I'm going to tell you what, most people just bought a bunch more. All right? Let's see. Get on base before you can get thrown off at home. It's a good way of putting it. Thank you, Moonrider. Thank you, Terry. All right, so look what Mullet just said. Most of these patterns are just the opposite of each other. If you learn to recognize one, you know them both. Exactly, okay? If one does this, that means the other one does that. Not that complicated. Now, that was bullish divergence. Let's go on to convergences now. Now, if you ever took a geology class in middle school or high school, you learned about convergent boundaries and divergent boundaries, okay? The Grand Canyon is a divergent boundary. That means the boundaries opened up and a crack formed, okay? That's the Grand Canyon. It's a divergent boundary. A convergent boundary would be the San Andreas Fault in California because two pieces of earth are moving together. They're converging together, okay? Got it? Convergence. Now, let's go to Algorand so we can look at what we're talking about here. On the price of Algorand, you've seen where we're gaining momentum right here. Price was going up. At the same time price was going up, our relative strength index continued up and up and up. Our strength was going up. Our price was going up. At the same time, this is bullish convergence. And that means a continuation of the pattern that we were already doing. Okay? Not that complicated, is it? Now, just as I said, the Zilliqa chart had an issue. Look right here. You had the chart moving sideways and the strength moving down. And guess what happened? We reversed down. Man, it's like now that you see it automatically, don't you? Okay? Learn this and know this. This is not as complicated as it seems. That's clearly bullish divergence. Let's go to a bearish convergence on one of the worst assets that I've ever purchased. One of the worst coins that I've ever purchased. XEM. Hey everybody, you're about to see one of my failures. Okay? This is where I didn't do so well and I made a mistake and I paid for it. Okay? Get ready everyone, because this is where you can say, hey Keith fucked up, blah blah blah. Okay? Here's XEM. Alright. Obviously, I bought XEM based on the airdrop because we were going to get XYM symbol token airdrop to us in our wallets for free. So what did I do? Knowing that I was getting in DeFi, oh, I think I'll buy some XEM. And look at it. It's done nothing but go down since the day I bought it. Terrible asset. It's down 60% since I bought it. 60%. Awesome. Awesome. Thanks a lot. Again, one of my failures for the world to see. Okay? Congratulations. Keith's not perfect, and I fail sometimes too. What did I miss here? What did I miss? Well, price was going up, and our relative strength index no longer was going up. It was flat. completely overbought 3 times, and I bought. That's what you get for not paying attention to the signs on the chart. Okay? I'm no better than anyone else. I've told everybody this 100 times, okay? I'm just a dude on the internet that y'all happen to be watching. Nobody's special here. What you're going to see is sometimes I screw up just like everybody else does, okay? And if you don't like it, please tune out. Go somewhere else. I'm sure old boy would love to have you come join his Patreon for $45 a month. I'm sure that some other guys who have $100 a month Patreon groups would love for you to come join their stuff. Okay? I'm not begging for anybody. What I am going to tell you is I'm imperfect, and I try to get a little better every day. And when I screw up, I try to make better on it, okay? So you can either learn from your mistakes, or you can continue to repeat your mistakes. And I don't wish to repeat my mistakes anymore. I want to get better at them, okay? Simple enough? Simple enough. All right. So, either way, we had this bearish convergence. As the chart started to come down, we got this nasty red candle. At the same time, our RSI came down. All right? Obviously, that's bearish convergence, and it hasn't broken yet. When this does break, we should get a pretty good move here. Now, when? Tough call. XCM was one of the first ones to go real far. It was also one of the first ones to fall just as far. All right? Bearish convergence, a continuation pattern. Got it? Got it. All right, let me read some stuff over here. All right, that's 36 minutes of hardcore technical stuff, okay? Now these patterns and these things that I just showed you work on every single chart made. I don't care whether it's a stock, a Forex chart, a trading pair, an ETF, a money market, crypto. I don't care. They work, okay? They work. So don't tell me that this is strictly this or, oh, this is, I don't want to hear it, all right? These are standard stuff that I see automatically that I don't always pay attention to. Sometimes I get in my feelings too and think I've made the best play ever, and I haven't, okay? But these things scream out at you, and you can pay attention, or you can shut your ears off and just bury your head in the sand and think you know better, okay? Sometimes I make that mistake of thinking I know better too, all right? And when I do, I pay for it, all right? So learn, get better. Yes, the market's been red for a week, and it hurt, and it kicked the shit out of everybody, and everybody took some L's. But Keith had stop losses set. My stop losses got kicked and gave me some liquidity. So I was able to take my liquidity and move them around and buy some coins at the bottom. Now, what did I buy at the bottom? Well, I'll show you what I bought at the bottom. I bought Sushi Up. It's a 3x derivative token. I saw this 1618 coming. What's a 1618, Keith? I shall show you. From the bottom to the top, which is right here, and then back down. Oh, look at that. 1618 was right near 9 cents. So Keith put a buy in at 9 cents. And what happened? We've bounced almost 200%. Not quite, but almost 200%. So I'm going to sell some of this pretty soon, and I'm going to move it somewhere else because I've already got my nut. I'm going to go bury it in the dirt and wait for that oak tree to grow, okay? That's the way it works. I'm not attached to Sushi Up. Probably one of the worst exchanges you can buy any tokens from is Sushi, but I don't care about that. I care about the charts. The charts show me something, I'm going to listen, okay? Every time I mess up, I try to figure out what I did wrong, rewind myself, and do better the next time. If you're not doing the same, you're going to miss. You're going to miss. Let's see some comments real quick. Holy hell, I just noticed Olivia Newton-John in the background of the thumbnail to this video. Yes, bro. Instead of let's get physical, it's let's get technical. This is some shit that I was forced to listen to when I was a kid because my mom would play this shit on the record player. Yes, a record player for y'all kids. And we'd have to listen to this shit when we cleaned house. Olivia Newton-John, REO Speedwagon, Foreigner. Shit. The fact that I know all that is frustrating. RSI trend line you put on the bottom for one example. It's just smooth. It's just to give an example. It's not to show perfection. You could put on the top or the bottom. It doesn't matter. I'm just looking for a pattern. I'm just looking for a pattern. Higher lows, lower highs, whatever. It only takes a second to look at that and see that pattern. All right. Oh, there's plenty of them groups that will gladly take your money and give you shit and be a crypto life coach. Exactly. Exactly. There are lots of crypto life coaches out there. In fact, didn't old Corn Cob just get his YouTube channel banned? What happens when you give out terrible advice and people get upset? They come at you. Ask me why I deleted 1,200 messages. That's exactly why. I did too, Jeremy. It's the first thing I could think of. She's 72. Olivia Newton-John is 72. Oh my God. That's awful that she's that old. That's all the music that Keith listened to as a kid. Don't let him fool you. Well, kinda, sorta. Because what happened is when I hit a certain age, I didn't want to listen to that music anymore. I wanted to rebel. And the music that I want to listen to was like NWA, Public Enemy, Body Count, 2 Live Crew. I didn't want to hear any of that shit anymore. I wanted to listen to what I want to listen to. So that's how I was created. All right. Let's see. That'd be nice. All right. Here's the Telegram site. NEM help desk. Yeah. Yeah. They have another way to claim your tokens if you never got your tokens, which is maybe what he's talking about. I'm not positive. Okay. I'm not positive. Thank you, William. Yes, Smooth. It's just me trying to find a pattern trying to find a pattern in the indicator to match that divergence or convergence. It's not necessarily super technical numbers. I'm just looking for that pattern. And if I see something that's losing strength but gaining price, hey, I know that a reversal may be coming, so I need to take some profits. Maybe not all, maybe not too much, maybe just a little bit, but I'm going to move some liquidity around so that I got some that I can look for something else. At the same time that you're seeing a bullish convergence somewhere, you may see a bearish convergence on another chart, and you may actually take some from that one and move it over into one that you think's about to make a bullish move. And you're trading now, okay? All right, let's see. I bet she's still hot for a 72-year-old. Yeah, I know, right? Are you going to trade in the bear market when everything is falling? Absolutely, I'm going to trade in the bear market. Why wouldn't I? You mean to tell me that I'm going to have a chart that looks just like this? Watch list. BTC. So what you're telling me is I have a chart that looks like this, and if I just reverse it, then I can chart the exact same thing and sell or buy down tokens instead of up tokens. Well, absolutely, I'm going to do that. I'm not gonna run from it. I'm going to take advantage of it. If you're telling me that I know the charts are all going to start going down, well, I'm going to leverage down. Why not? I think it'd be foolish not to. As a matter of fact, these exchanges are gifting you leverage tokens by letting you get into up and down or bull or bear tokens. Okay, they're 3x non-liquid, non-margin call, non-liquid tokens. You can't exchange them, obviously, but you have to buy them or sell them. You got to take a little bit of risk, but absolutely, I'm going to sell in the bear market. There's no way I'm running from that. There's no way I'm running from that. If you're telling me that I know what's going to happen, of course I'm going to play that. I'm not afraid. There's another thing. Stop being scared. If you're in cryptocurrency, then you should not be scared. If you want to be scared, go somewhere else. I don't want to hear it. You got into a speculative asset, all right? Before I hear a fucking single word about how awesome the use case is for some coin, I want you to actually show me that coin being used in that use case, because you can't. You can't. I don't want to hear how great XLM is making NASA digital streams. I don't want to hear about how Ethereum Classic's doing something. I don't care. None of it is being used. None of it. Zero of that is being used. Yet, charts are up thousands of percent. Thousands of percent. And not a single coin is actually being used for the case that it was made to be used for. So I ask you, who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? I don't care who their CEO is. I don't care how awesome the news was on Twitter. I don't care how many partnerships they have. When all this stuff starts actually getting used legit, then I'll care. Then I'll say, hey, you know what? These guys have a lot of connections. Not to mention, the chart looks pretty good. Hey, this may be something that I hang on to a long time. Okay, I may buy this and keep this because, hey, not only is the coin looking good on the chart, but it appears that they're going to be able to keep their money flowing even in a down market or a sideways market. Okay, they're going to be moving it around. I'll invest in something then. But until then, just show me the chart. Every single trader on earth will tell you they don't give a fuck about the asset. They only want to make money. And here's a news shock for everybody. Brad Garlic Bread is not here to make friends. Okay? Tony Vaz or Vase or whatever his name is not here to make friends. They're here to make money. They're here to get paid. They're not here to see some project be on the top of the fucking podium. They don't care. They want to get paid. They're here to make money. This is business. This is not friendships. This is not patting each other on the back. None of it. It's about making money. Every business on earth is about making money. And if you're not making money, you're not doing good business, okay? If you're trading, you should be thinking the exact same thing. I'm here to make money. I'm not here to hold a coin because some CEO is going on CNN to talk to some pretty chick for a couple minutes and that's going to make the chart move. Incorrect. Incorrect. It's not how it works. Okay? Think about what you're doing for God's sakes and make a smarter play. All right, let me read some of these comments. I'm sorry. Just really frustrated with all the stupidity I see lately. You're smarter than this, people. You're smarter than this. Use it. All right, how do up tokens work? It's basically a bet that's going to go up, and it's 3x instead of 1x. Same thing with down. Nope, no contractual period, but they expect you to move it and sell it quickly. That's the whole point in it. Darth says Force Plus, the ultimate use case. It has none. Okay? But the chart's up thousands of percent. If you're scared, go to church, what Frank just said. The only use case right now is to make money trading a new asset class. Tristan couldn't have said it better than what he just said. The only use case is to make money trading a new asset class. Exactly. What exchange do you trade from? Usually Binance US, regular Binance, FTX, KuCoin, Bittrex, Uphold. I never use Coinbase. Bitrue. Do I have another one? The Who exchange, I use that one. I think that's it. But I have like 13 exchanges on my phone. Let's see. All right. Let's see. I'm sitting. There was a typo. My bad. Which gets out of the ST list. Big step forward for us. I think it already has, Darth. Is the ST already gone? I think it was gone. Oh no, I haven't said the D word. I don't owe nobody no shots until I said the D word. I've been careful not to say it. Pollock's trying to make a move. All right. Tristan went to slam dunk. Best use case equals profitability. The best use case is making money. God, that's the perfect way of saying it. The best use case is making money. Boy, couldn't have said it better. Couldn't have said it better. With the exception of sitting to pee, there is nothing better. All right, full moon ends tomorrow night. Maybe the stupid will start waning. Keith hitting doggy style, maybe stupid. Hey, by the way, there's 50 people watching. That's awesome. We've been hitting 50 or 60 pretty consistently. Yeah, that D word. I can't say it, Tristan. EJ says, what, you guys don't trade off feelings? Unsubbed. Well played, sir. So, with the next 10 minutes here, let's just go over the market a little bit, okay? I said the answers in the charts, and I'm going to stick to that. One more again. Let's go over Bitcoin here. Let's hit the monthly chart. I've switched over to CoinTrader so everyone can see it a little better. But, let me pull my arrow off here. Right now, we're testing the 8 EMA on the monthly, which is also the midline on the monthly, all right? We had a, what pattern did I just discuss with everybody? What pattern did I just get through telling you about? An evening star pattern. We had a doji with a tall wick on bottom and top and a little small body form up next to a green candle at the top. An evening star. And what happened? Red afterwards. Holy cow. Holy cow. What did I tell you? Now, let's dig a little deeper. At the same time that happened, we can pull a fib on that and see that at the same time we threw an evening star, we hit damn near dead on the money 1618 take profit line. So you hit a take profit line. You threw an evening star. I already showed you on, that was on the monthly, I already showed you on the daily that you had bearish divergence forming. You had multiple dojis on top on the daily. How many more signals did you need to tell you to take some profits? Because nobody listened. You all got in your feelings thinking that charts are going to continue to go up and up and up. I came on here and I told you multiple times that around 62,000 would be your take profit line. It got up to about 65, 66 depending on the exchange. I was close. Came on here and I told you for months that was my target. It hit the fucking target dead on the nose. Then, when I said that it was going to test the 8 in the midline, holy shit, it's testing the 8 in the midline. What's next? Well, after this evening star, it's a little complicated, okay? So, I don't have... Where do I have MACD that looks fairly good on here? Let's do let's do RSI. The RSI look good on CoinTrader? Not sure. Okay, so we hit this big time overbought right here. Okay, that wasn't so great. Big time overbought. But on the monthly here, what is this? It's a bit of bullish looking RSI. And the chart nosing over red, so you could say this is bullish convergence, or bullish divergence, I'm sorry, bullish divergence. I think Bitstamp has more data. I think Tristan told me that before. Yeah, he's right. All right, so same thing here. We're seeing this big trend line on Bitcoin go up. We saw, oh, right here's even another one. Same time you see, depending on where you want to pull this from. You could pull from back here. Like that. Yeah, that's a pretty good pattern there of the up. Now, at the same time, one could argue that we have a lower high here. And that's an overall bearish divergence, okay? One could argue. Now, being that it was so overbought like that gives me pause. There was another sign, by the way, everybody. The RSI screaming high overbought. it was time to catch its breath and take a break. Could it bounce from here? Absolutely, it could bounce from here, just like it did back here, okay? See how it bounced as soon as it got in this zone and took back off again and ran back up to overbought again? That could happen. Did the same thing right here. It went overbought, bounced off, and took off again. Is that possible? Absolutely. And this one was a very clean upward trend on the RSI here, where, you know, it's gotten a little sloppy lately. It's gotten a little sloppy. So, in my opinion, this isn't done. I don't think any of these charts have shown you, with the exception of a couple, have shown you anything to say, hey, maybe I should back off and stay off of this one, okay? A couple of them have shown me that. But for the most part, I'm seeing plenty of charts with more room to go, okay? You know, ones like Bitcoin, ones like the D word, a couple other ones, those are a little long in the tooth for me, and I wouldn't necessarily want to jump in those, okay? I see some other charts that are way down and have good-looking buys coming in that I think have plenty of percent to make a ton of money off of. So my advice to everyone is to start paying attention to the signs. Don't listen to the noise. Listen to the music. And when you see something, maybe point it out and ask, instead of after the fact saying, well, I saw that, I just didn't say anything. You're not helping anything, okay? I don't want to hear about how great you are after the fact. Okay, anybody can do that. Let's see who spots it beforehand. That's where the real money's made. The real home runs are hit before the pitch is thrown, okay? Because the batter knows what's coming, and he keys in on it and is ready, all right? You throw a bunch of curveballs in the dirt, I know you're not going to throw a curveball over the middle. If I see something coming over the middle, I'm swinging at it because I know it ain't going to be a curveball, all right? The home run is hit before the pitch is thrown. How long do I think this is going to take? Could be several weeks. I don't see a vast, monster, big, humongous reversal coming in. In my opinion, it's still going to take a little bit for this stuff to iron itself out before it moves up really good. It could take months, and I have no problem with that at all. I see a lot of tokens hitting their support zones on the daily, much like BTC did. Even though it had this, this bearish divergence here where the price moved up and sideways and the RSI came down. It's all right because it's kind of bounced off of support right here. It hit this support zone and moved back up. Now, what would be really ugly is if it took another leg down and made a really, really nasty head and shoulders, which is totally possible. So I'd really like to see this RSI break through here and get moving, because if it doesn't, it could form a really ugly head and shoulders here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It should be here, here, and then here. All right? That would be really nasty, and that would make a lot of people lose money. All right? I don't want to see that. Is it possible? Absolutely, it's possible. And in fact, I kind of think it's going to somewhat happen. We're going to get that action. We're going to get a wick off accumulation type pattern where we had this, 3 or 4 bumps on the top, the drop, the test, and it can either hold or fail right in this zone over here. And that's all the way out to June 15th, June 20th, maybe even July. Like I said, another solid month. It sucks, but whatever. But that's kind of what I see. All right, let's see some comments before we get off here. We got 2 minutes. Yeah, shaky on candlestick patterns. No problem, man. Just got to check them out a little bit at a time and work your way up to them. Doji has a little price move from open close. It's a sign of indecision. Absolutely. We can go more into candlestick patterns on Thursday. I'm going to show some more about those and go into some other ones that are really interesting, okay? That's why you don't Android, Frank. Red, you smoker, head and ass. Bad reception here in the islands. Yeah, Frank's on vacation. I'm trying to be the Acuna Jr. the next leg up. I know, right? Check out Odd Cat on the daily. Looks good on the TDI and OBEV with bands getting tight. All right. How are you seeing the weekly, monthly close, the new monthly candle? Doji probably. I think. Wyckoff might suggest retest area breakout near 19K. 19K. Yeah, it's fully possible. I would say 20 though, not 19. But yeah, the potential, the previous all-time high was never really tested. It went past that, beyond it. It's fully possible that it retests all-time high again. Boy, wouldn't that hurt everybody's feelings if Bitcoin went all the way down to 20,000 again. Ooh, boy, people would be in their feelings then. But is it possible? Absolutely, it's possible. We should watch it very carefully. I'd like to see it hold the midline though that big midline here. I'd like to see this midline hold, okay? Because historically we've seen that happen before, where it holds the midline. I'd like to see that hold and get a move up here, but things are more mature now. Assets are more mature, so it's not a guarantee that's going to happen. So, yeah, what Mullet just said is a lot of charts are turning up and looking good. I'm waiting for 4 closes over the 8 and still being cautious with new buys just in case. That's pretty smart. He's taking it an extra step farther for a little bit more security. Going to lose a small amount of percentage that way, but the security that you get from that is worth the risk in his opinion. Everybody's risk management is different. Do your thing. All right, so that's 12 o'clock. I hope everybody learned something tonight. This stream will be up for everybody to watch after the fact. I'll have better lights next stream. Hopefully I'll get a little lamp or something to put back there to maybe have some better light. I know it looks like shit. Till next time, thank y'all. I'll try not to be so stressed leading up to the next stream, but there's just been a lot of shit going on here, okay? So thank y'all. I appreciate everything. I'll see y'all on Thursday. Hold down the fort. Everybody be smart. Don't waste your time on the chart. Don't waste your time on the news. Don't waste your time on Twitter. Don't read anything else about Elon Musk. Put your nose in the chart and learn. Dig deep and grind. You can make money just like everybody else.